of the things that I've struggled as a nurse is understanding how money works and how not to live paycheck to paycheck and not to be broke. As a nurse, I used to think that if I made more money, if I was paid a little more every hour, then my money issues would be fixed. But I was wrong. Because yes, I've gotten salary increment because I've been a nurse for a long time. But at the end of the day, that did not sort my issues until I identified 5 mistakes that I was doing that has really made a difference for me. So today I'm going to share some of the 5 mistakes that I was doing and ways that I'm trying to fix those mistakes. And I'm still working on it. It's still a journey. But I feel as a nurse, it's really important for you to understand some of these mistakes because you can make money. It doesn't matter how much money you're being paid. But if you don't know how to take care of your money, then you'll remain broke and you will live paycheck to paycheck and will not take care of your retirement and will not be financially stable. So tag a sister or a brother or someone who is a nurse and wants to learn about money. So come along. I don't want my channel to be about money, but it's really important for you as a nurse to know how to take care of your money. Because we go to school and we are taught how to take care of patients, how to advocate for patients, how to cost cut in the hospital. But nobody really tells us, how do we really take care of our money? How do we make ourselves stable? How do you make your money work for you so that you don't work all your life running from one paycheck to paycheck or shift after shift? Or if you don't work today, you're worried about your financial status. So I had to really change 5 things that really made a big difference in my life. So tag a sister and a brother. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. So let's learn as friends, as nurses, as colleagues, as peers. And let's know what really you'd like to learn more. So one of the mistakes that I used to do is not to really assign my money. I would get my paycheck and I would not be so clear, this paycheck that I'm getting in 2 weeks, what are some of the things that I would like to do? So one of the things that I did was to learn how to assign my money. And one of the person that talks a lot when it comes to assigning your money or has a very good zero budget is Ramsey. So I did one of the classes that when he was talking about that you should leave zero budget. That doesn't mean that you don't have any money. It's just that once you get your paycheck, you assign it. 5% will go to this. 5% will go to this. 10% will go to this. Like for me, I always assign like my first 2 weeks. Maybe I'm assigning maybe the insurance. Maybe I'm assigning the rent. And then the next paycheck, I'm assigning my savings. So that by the end of the month, then you have specific things that you're assigning. So you have zero budget. Your account will remain zero, not because you don't have money, but just because you've assigned. Because it's very calls you and tells you, oh, do you have 200 I can borrow? If it's lying there, then you'll feel guilty. But if I don't have it, I don't have it. I would have to plan. But remember, when you're signing, you're going to assign everything that you need. If you're going to sit down and look at a good way to calculate. And some of these things to learn about money may not be expensive. But I realized it's really important for you to really assign your money. Let every money be assigned. I have money assigned. This is the money that I'm going to use for expenses. This is the money that will be assigned to emergency. This is the money that is assigned for investment. This is the money that is assigned for entertainment. So everything is assigned. If that money is not used, then it can be carried over to the other month or it can be assigned something different. But every money that I received, I assign it every 2 weeks if I'm being paid. And if you're being paid every month, you can do the same. You can take every month, this is how much I'm spending. So one of the mistakes that I used to do was not to assign my money, not to allocate my money. So one of the ways that I fixed was for me to learn to assign and to have zero budget, where everything is assigned. I don't have money that just lies in the account that is not assigned. So if something comes up, then it's either assigned something, and if it's not assigned, then it will have to wait for next month for it to be assigned. So that's one of the things that have really changed, and it has made a big difference for me. So another mistake that I used to do, and which is very common with international nurses or people who are international, is you'll find that we always support our family back home. So I would send money random, like this time I sent this amount, the next time I sent. So it wasn't very strategic. I didn't have a plan. So if someone called me, oh, I need money for this, my parents, my brothers, anybody that I knew, then I would just send the money. So I specifically identified what are the things that I truly need. What is an allowance that I can give my parents that is so specific that if truly every month I give them this allowance, they can be able to plan themselves, and then you reduce the every time that you're being called. It's the same way as a nurse. If you do your hourly rounding, then you go purposeful in this rounding and ask your patient, what do you need? Do you need water? Do you need to use the bathroom? Do you have your things near you? Then you're likely to have less call bells. And like if you just wait for randomly patients to keep calling you, they'll keep calling you at different times, and you'll walk at one point and the whole hallway has lights on. So as a nurse, for me to be able to take care of my money, one of the things that I did was the same way that you can do strategic hourly rounding, that you know when you round up and the patients, you prepare them that I'm going to come every hour to round on you. So they have an expectation. So I made sure that I was so specific to the people that I have to support, especially my family. I sat down, we did a budget, and they know that every end of the month or every 2 weeks, I give them an allowance. So based on that, then they go around it. And I find that there is less emotional, every other guilty times that you're being told, oh, send us some money, oh, this has happened. So having an allowance that is so specific and giving them specific allowance has reduced how much money that every other day that you're being told, oh, bring this money, this is happening. Unless once in a while you have an emergency, and you still have an emergency kit that you've put. So being so specific and allocating certain amount that will be done, just as a nurse, because we always do it. So the same way you plan your care as a nurse is the same way I plan my money. Mistake that is very common is trying to live rich. It's not wrong for you to live rich, but it's something that you have to build towards. Everybody has things that they treasure, but you don't have to necessarily run after every new thing. You know what I mean by living rich? You'll find like there are guys who will run after every iPhone or every new version of phone that comes out. So it can be that you can decide, do I really have to change my phone every time there is an upgrade, or can I be able to stay with the same? Because every time you change it, maybe you are having to pay more premium than it's necessary. But if that's not something that is so important to you, you're just doing it to look expensive. So you really have to decide what are the things that you truly need and how can you have them in a reasonable way. You might find that having a car that is not necessarily 2025, but you have a car that is 2022 or 2023, is a car that has less mileage, and it's a car that can move you from one place to another. And it can even be that brand that you like. Maybe it's a Lexus. But you need to find out how much premium are you willing to leave. So you need to calculate your money and be able to look for things that will give you the comfort you want, but be within your means. What are the things that are really important for you? Do you really need a really good bed, or do you need a luxurious car that may not be what you need? So you really need to look at some of the things, not necessarily to flash expensive bags that you may not necessarily need. But you might find that for you, a bag is important. So if a bag is important, then you can save for it, and you can look at when those bags are on sale, or when you can be able to get those bags at a reasonable price. Because one thing in America, everything goes on sale. So you can be able to look at things that you can be able to get at a reasonable price. So one of the things that I was able to identify is the things that are important to me, then I buy them when they're on sale. Or if there are those things that are really important to me, then I plan for it and I budget for it. Even when I'm picking an extra shift, it's strategic. I know that I'm planning to buy a car, or I know I'm doing this because I'm trying to put it in my business. So it's very strategic than me just buying to look rich. It was for me not to plan my overtime. So it's really important for you and as a nurse to really think, when is the best time to pick overtime? Because if you realize that if I do 3 shifts and then I pick 1 extra shift, it's 4 shifts. How, when you look at your paycheck, are you paying so much tax? If you pick 5 shifts this time, is it better for you to do 3 shifts this week and then next week you do 4 shifts? Or is it better for you to do 2 shifts and then another 2 shifts? So you can be able to plan your overtime. Another thing is for you to be able to look, when is the best time to pick overtime? Is it immediately when the schedule comes out, or for you to wait when there is a crisis pay, or when there is callbacks? There are different ways that you can be able, or are you a PRN that if you pick an extra shift, automatically you are paid much more? And now currently we even know that with time will not be taxed for the money that will be doing overtime. So those are the things that you can take advantage, because every regime comes with its own advantage. So you can take advantage of working extra time strategically, and that money will not be taxed. So you can look for ways for you to be able, because it shows that if you look at the current bill, it says the first 12,000 that is overtime may not be taxed. So which is the best way for you to work this 12,000 so that you can be able to maximize the benefit when it comes to overtime? So you as a nurse, you really have to plan. And when you do this overtime, are you investing that money, or are you using it to just buy unnecessary things? So it's always important to assign a certain percentage of your overtime, so that at the end of the day, you'll be amazed how much money that you're making and how much money you've invested, or how much money your money has started to work for you. It can be that money that you're doing overtime. Like for me, I'm putting it for my business. That's money that I'll use to buy like cameras, or money that I'll use to buy things that I need for my business. So be very strategic when it comes to overtime, how you're using your money. One of the major mistakes that truly as a nurse, the 5th mistake that I know that I did was not learning about money. It's really important for you to be financially literate. And sometimes it might require you to pay for it. I know like some programs are not expensive. I know like Ramsey, I'm not necessarily promoting or having any affiliate with them, but I think there is so much that you can learn. It's important for you to understand money, how the money works, how you can make your money work for you. Learn about stock, learn about the 401k, learn about the Roth IRA, learn about different things when it comes to money. Because honestly, how can you manage your money if you don't understand how money works? How can you be able to multiply $1 to become $12? What is a way that you can be able to have your money multiply? Because it doesn't make sense for you to just be working for money. For you to be clocking in, you can only be paid when you clock in. Is there a way that you can be able to make money work for you? Is there a way that you can have passive income? Is it by creating content? Is it by you coming up with books? And I've actually written one of my books that talks about how you can strategize for you as a nurse to come from bedside, and how you can be the first 2 years what you can do, the next 2 years what you can do, and how to become a leader or a specialist. So if you're looking forward to understand how you as a nurse, you can position yourself and be able to make more money or have more money, look down the description, because I've really talked about ways that you can strategize as a nurse for you to understand how to put yourself for success, how to come from being an RN to either a leader as a specialist. So just look in the description box and buy my ebook. It's really a bundle that has different things. It's not just a book. It's one that you really want to read and understand to set yourself for success as a nurse. I made the 5 mistakes and I'm fixing them. I know some of you might think it's not important to talk about money, but why do we go to work? Yes, we care about the patients. Yes, we want to take care of our patients. But we've got to be able to take care of ourselves. So money is important. It's not everything, but it answers so many things. And poverty is not one of the things. And we don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. So let's learn. Let's try to fix some of the money mistakes that we are doing. I may not be an expert, but I'm learning just like you. and I'm going to share my journey. So tag a sister, tag a brother, tag a fellow nurse who is also learning about money, and we can learn together. Because honestly, we can be able to live a stable life because we've worked so hard. Nothing is not easy. And we need to also look for ways for our money to work for us. We've got this. We've got to learn about the money